3 months ago, I bought a new bike, and I could essentially call it my dream bike. This is actually my second purchase of a bike in the last 6 months. And you may ask, why? Well, I wanted to take the sport a lot more seriously, specifically the road side of cycling. And then 3 months ago, I decided to pull the trigger on this bad boy and take my cycling ability to the next level. So in this video, we're gonna find out whether I fucked up or it was actually a good purchase. If you're new here, what's up? I'm Luke. I'm a 25-year-old videographer living in Cape Town, South Africa, and I use this channel to document my life, specifically around cycling and also occasionally cameras. So if that is something you're into, hit that subscribe button and do all the things to make sure you never miss the next video. One thing to note here, I bought this bike with my own money. It's not sponsored. All of these opinions I share in this video are my own. The bike in question is the Titan Racing Valerian Carbon Elite. I know, it's one hell of a name. There's a couple reasons I went with this bike, which I'll get into in a bit. But with one of the first reasons is it's actually from a South African brand. They started in Joburg. They actually sponsor a UCI females team, and they make UCI compliant bikes. So it was a really cool chance to have a bike from a South African brand. Even though the bike is not made here, it still has South African roots. There are obviously the elite and legacy brands such as Specialized, Canyon, Standards, and don't get me wrong, all of those bikes are incredible. I love some of the Standards out there, and the Specialized too. That's probably my dream bike at a point. The SL8 or SL9 when it comes out, the road bike. So that's on the cards in the future. Hopefully, we never know. If any of you are watching, you know where to find me. And yeah, so I think overall really happy with the South African brand Titan Racing and really happy with the bike itself. Okay, specs. And the bike has a couple interesting features. I was looking for three main areas. For me, it was carbon frame, electronic shifting, and 50mm deep section wheels, or in and around that, but ideally carbon wheels. So one of the reasons I went with this bike specifically and this model of Titan is because it actually ticked all those boxes and it fit in within my budget. So it comes with 50mm wheels. They are in-house wheels, so they're not name branded wheels, which is all right to start with. It came with Shimano 105 Di2, which is electronic shifting, and the all reliable Shimano. And then it also comes in a CL carbon frame, which is one of the lower end of the carbon frames, but obviously still really, really high race spec carbon frame. There is SCL carbon frame, I think, which is the highest. I'm not entirely sure, but CL carbon frame is still incredible. So you see kind of the raw frame of the bike along with the black plus a gloss finish. So I've actually got this bike set up tubeless now and with some brand new Pirelli P Zeros, and I must say the ride feel is absolutely incredible. I initially didn't start out on this bike, obviously. I started out on an old Orbea Mitis from about 2006. I bought it on Facebook Marketplace for 5,000 Rand, and it served me really well. I had that thing up until December of 2025, so December last year. And in December and throughout the last year, I was kind of toying with the idea of buying a new bike. I wasn't sure what avenue I wanted to go down. Gravel was pretty interesting at the time, so I ended up gravitating towards an Avalanche Rome Carbon. It was a carbon gravel bike. It's really good value, also a South African brand, and it's the bike brand I used as a kid. So it was a bit romantic and I was really keen to get it. I bought the bike, put some road tires on it just to be able to use on the road as well. And I really actually fell in love with road cycling as opposed to gravel. So that bike literally never touched the gravel. So it didn't have electronic shifting, but it did have the other two non-negotiables. So it was kind of like, it was fitting my needs basically. So I took the financial hit and I sold the Avalanche and I got this Titan. I'm obviously relatively new to the road cycling industry, and as a whole it can be quite daunting, and buying a bike is quite of an intense process, especially when you want to spend a decent bit on the bike. Bikes can be expensive, as we know, so I think we scrutinize every part of the bike, and we scrutinize the weight, the color, the look, the feel, the vibe, and I think we need to try and simplify a purchase of a bike as much as possible. to ourselves and to me. I mean, buying technology, I have the same problem. You look at thousands of reviews and you'll bombard your brain with too much info. I was initially looking at another Titan model. I was also on Facebook Marketplace. I was checking out some secondhand bikes because that's also definitely an option. I ended up buying this bike brand new from Titan themselves. And the one thing I noticed specifically on this bike, so it's quite an aggressive geometry and it's much more of an aero bike than my previous ones. And I kept hearing people say stiff. Bikes are stiff. Their stiffness is great, and like the power to weight ratio transfer, blah blah blah, all these buzzwords. And I didn't really know what they meant, obviously. But once you get on a bike that is A, expensive, and B, race geometry and really aero focused, you really do notice those differences. As soon as you turn those cranks, you can feel the bike wanting to move and go. But specifically with this group set, the Shimano 105 Di2 has been a game changer for me. I went from having my Chinese mechanical shifting in the L2 R9 thing that I had on the Avalanche Rome to a fully Japanese group set with electronic shifting is absolutely incredible. It's made a massive difference in my life. I probably waffled a lot now, so I apologize, but I'm going to sum everything up and kind of what this experience has taught me. So overall, I'm very happy with the bike that I went with, and very happy I went with this style of frame, but I did know that going in. I didn't go for a TCR style frame, a giant TCR like an endurance bike. I went for a very race spec geometry road bike. For me, I'm a tall guy, so I think going for this frame was a bit of a risk in a sense because it can be uncomfortable, but overall it's been fine and my body has compensated. I am still struggling with my shoes a little bit. They're giving me numbness, but it seems to be a shoe related issue. But that aside, this bike upgrade has been absolutely everything I wanted it to be. And the one thing I've learned with buying a new bike is that the bike matters, but not necessarily in the way you may think. The bike needs to make you want to ride. Whatever that means, do that thing. Because no matter how much, if you go overboard and you spend and you get the most expensive components, but if you genuinely just don't feel like you like the bike and you don't look at it and you don't want to ride it every time you see it, the bike's not going to work. You might spend and you might have the best components you ever could have, but again, if the bike's not going to tick those boxes or fill that gap that you want it to, it's just not going to make you ride it. So this bike does that for me. So at the end of the day, this was actually a pretty good decision on my part and one that I don't regret. And that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one.